So, when I was younger, I was really into Rubik's Cubes. And as of recently, within the last month, my friend brought his Rubik's Cube to my apartment. And I started playing around with it. That friend, he stays over at my place during exams, and he kept his Rubik's Cube with him there. And we would all just play with it because he's into speed cubing. And I got back into it again. A hobby that I haven't really touched since I was young, in like elementary school, middle school. I'm back in it now, and it's kind of addicting, I'm not gonna lie. And I've gotten into speed cubing again, or started getting into speed cubing. I always knew how to solve Rubik's Cube with just the beginner's method. I never really learned like F2L or CFOB or ZBLL, any of those like fast speed queuing methods. And I'm starting to learn CFOB now, picking up like a bunch of new OLL and PLL algorithms and learning F2L better. I just started learning F2L over the last couple of days. Like my pattern recognition is not that good. So I had like two cases memorized for F2L and just a bunch of setup moves for that, but it's not the most optimal. So my F2L is really slow still. And honestly, if I was to time myself doing with beginner's method versus like F2L and all the CFOP algorithms, my beginner's method time is still faster just because it's bam, 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 and I know how to do it. But yeah, besides the regular 3x3, which this is just a regular Rubik's brand 3x3, nothing fancy there. I have a 2x2, and this is a Speed Cube 2x2. I have a Speed Cube Pyraminx. This one has magnets in it. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. My dad got this as a set with the 2x2 as well, like same company, same style. This came. It's not that fun to solve because there's mainly three main algorithms to solve, and it's just like first layer and the two possible cases for second layer. And I also find it really awkward to hold with the corners, and it really slows it down. So I don't really like the Pyraminx. I also have a Megaminx somewhere in my house. I don't know where it is. One of my other favorite ones is this guy. Now, it's not a Rubik's Cube, but it's kind of, I put it kind of put it in the same family. It's a twisty sliding puzzle. Basically, it's called the missing link. Each one of these faces has a chain on it, and the top and bottom rotate. Because the top and bottom they rotate. And obviously you want to get all the colors on one side. And each face, each of these pieces is a sliding puzzle. So you can twist it around and move the pieces up and down. Yeah, this one's really fun. At first, it was really hard to solve. I remember when I got this was I found it in my uncle's closet when I visited his house, and his daughters have all grown up now, so he doesn't use it, and he said I could take it. And so remember, I was driving home from his house, and I was trying to solve this, and it took me so long to solve, and then I solved it, and then I never touched it again for like years because I didn't want to mess it up because I didn't know how to solve it again. But recently, I picked it back up, and I've developed more intuition. Maybe it was just because I was young, I didn't know what I was doing, but now the entire thing you can pretty much solve from intuition, except for the one last bit. You might end up with a parity case where one edge is off and everything else is on, and there's one algorithm for that. But other than that, it takes like a couple minutes to solve. It's not a very hard puzzle. The most annoying thing is when like a bottom piece ends up on the top and you have to do a manual slide to get it to the bottom again. So it's more tedious than it is difficult, but as I still fun. I think this one's a lot of fun. You can't really finger trick it at all. But yeah, um, biggest thing is I'm trying to improve my times for 2x2 and 3x3. My 2x2 time is around 6 seconds on average. My biggest thing is like I know all the algorithms, all the cases. It's just that my look ahead is pretty bad. So I'll solve like first layer, for example, right? I'll start with first layer white, and then I can know what the case is for second layer, like when I look at it, but I have to pause to look at it. So I want to develop that intuition of one as I'm solving the white layer, I know where the pieces are going to be for the left layer, so I know what my OLL case is going to be beforehand, without having me to pause and look and then do the case. And also, like the same thing translates to PLL. I don't always recognize, okay, what edges are solved along the white layer. So if I do the first layer white, then which bars have been solved as well, like what the case is there, and what the edge configuration is going to be after I do the OLL algorithm. If I do that, I know exactly what case is going to be for the last layer. And my biggest thing is sometimes at the pause and taking like a second or two to like spin the cube around and figure out, okay, what's the configuration, especially if things aren't like perfectly aligned. It takes a while. And I can just do the alg, but and then solve it. The alg itself, like the turn speed isn't the problem, it's just my look ahead. And I need to develop that look ahead intuition, which I'm kind of struggling with. So if you have any advice for look ahead, I'd appreciate that. Same thing with 3x3. I need to just get better at F2L. I know like two main cases for the edge inserts, and so I always just do setup moves for those two cases. My biggest thing is developing the cross and then finding the right pieces for F2L. That takes a long time. I'm just spinning around like where's the piece? Where's the piece? Same thing with setting up the white cross. Like, I don't have the finger tricks down for everything, so I just kind of okay manually like put the edge in there, try and line it up, and it's really slow. I'm like, oh, spinning the cube. Where's the last edge? Okay, put it in. It feels really slow, but then when I get to F12, I can kind of do a little bit of finger tricking. I always need to have the edge in front of me, the face in front of me to see, okay, like I'm putting it in the front right or the front left slot. I don't have the intuition like, okay, I could hold it in the back and I don't need to rotate the cube every single time. Like I always need to rotate and regrip the cube, which really slows it down. OLL and PLL aren't too bad. I just need to memorize more cases. But the finger tricking is a lot easier for the most part. I can just hold it from one face and solve. Mine is like resetting up like PLL stuff. OLL PLL is okay. It's just first two layers for 3x3 are really slow. That's time is really slow for me. So my average solves time is still over a minute for this, just because of the fact that F12 takes 30 to 40 seconds, and then OLL PLL is whatever remaining time. But if you have any tips for either 2x2, 3x3, I'd appreciate that. But yeah, I just wanted to share what I've been up to. Rubik's Cube's been a lot of fun. I've just been using this like a fidget toy also for a lot of it. I'll be doing work and then I'm just spinning the Rubik's Cube. Yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it. And so I'm gonna try and get better at those two. But if you have any tips, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See ya.